The Boerboel is a large, muscular dog breed that originated in South Africa. It is a Mastiff-type dog that was bred to protect farms and livestock from predators. But do you think it's ironic when I tell you that I have 8 reasons why I would never import another Boerboel from South Africa?
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on a roll, here we go, here we go.
Number 1, selected puppy switch-ups. There is no guarantee the dog you order is the same dog that will arrive. Breeders in South Africa have been known to switch puppies without consent. Case in point, the first dog I selected was not the same puppy that arrived at the airport. This can also be applied to people who plans to shop online far away from their home.
Before telling the kids, Joe Mack wanted to make sure he wasn't being scammed.
I looked into the Better Business Bureau, couldn't find anything. I looked into the American Kennel Club. I didn't see anything, any red flags.
He even did a reverse lookup of the photos to see if they had been used elsewhere.
And you found nothing out of the ordinary?
Nothing, no red flags.
Joe Mack later found out the reason why the scammer's website didn't raise any red flags.
They just uploaded the website the week prior.
I believe that picking your puppy up is preferred over shipping. Just like what we do in our own Boerboel business. We prefer our new puppy owners to pick up their puppies. Pickup gives you a chance to meet us and get a feel for our dogs, and vice versa. Exotic Boerboels inspire all when you see them in person. You will also transfer your puppy directly from the litter to your new family. This offers the absolute best transition course. Number 2, breeders must know their dogs. Oftentimes in South Africa, the breeders are not directly involved with the daily handling and care of puppies. Not to say that the puppies are not being cared for, but the majority of the handling is done by caretakers. The actual breeder is not hands-on with the dogs. Breeding dogs is a big responsibility, and it's important for breeders to be hands-on in order to ensure the identity, health, and well-being and happiness of the dogs they breed. Number 3, the number of dogs owned by breeders in South Africa. They have hundreds of Boerboels on dog factory farm-like setups. Sadly, that is why we see sores on elbows and legs, because the dogs don't have adequate bedding and clean bowls. Dogs eating kibble from the floor, flies eating the ears in horrible conditions. Dogs living horribly. This is a form of cruelty that is shunned by traditional standards. The dogs you breed should live in a safe and healthy environment. This includes providing them with adequate space, food, water, and exercise. Number 4, you can't get a refund. Once your money is sent, it's gone. Dog breeding scams are a common problem in South Africa. Scammers often pose as legitimate breeders online.
They say the website looked legit with glowing references, so they wired $850 to the breeder and excitedly waited for their new puppy to arrive.
The girls got so excited. You know, they were really very giddy and happy, and they couldn't believe they were getting another puppy, and the puppy would be here tomorrow.
And offer puppies for sale at very low prices.
Kelly Miner in Greensboro admits it was love at first sight when she saw Adele on a website called DivineFrenchiesHome.com. The purebred listed for half the going rate.
I'm like, do they not realize how much these dogs are going for right now? Or did I just stumble onto a really good deal? So they had me going. I was definitely on the hook.
Homebreed Havanese. These dogs usually go for several thousand. Millie was being sold for $700.
Why was it so cheap?
They were getting a whole new batch of puppies the next month, and they needed to clear out these dogs.
Once the victim pays for the puppy, the scammer disappears or requests more money, and the victim never receives the puppy.
Just before the puppy was about to be shipped from Florida, Mac got this email saying that Millie couldn't be sent unless he paid for a special bad weather shipping crate to the tune of $1,500. That was his red flag.
I called foul on it, and they literally ghosted me from that point.
Everything was set. They say the shipper called asking for a $1,500 insurance fee required due to COVID-19.
Then I was like, is this a scam? Are you scamming us? Are you just stealing our money? And he's like, no, no, no.
But when daughter Casey did a little investigating, she says she found out there was no flight ever scheduled. There was no puppy.
This is way worse than switching up your selected puppy. The South African government is different from ours, and taking legal action from overseas would almost be impossible. It would cost more to attempt to recover your loss than the total value of the loss. That's the reason why most South African Boerboel scams continue.
Is never worth the work involved in busting a scammer in a foreign country. The cost would be way too high for law enforcement to do.
Number 5, keeping the best Boerboels for themselves. The South African Boerboel breeders keep the best and sell the rest. It has been said that the South African only want champion Boerboels to be from South Africa, keeping the demand from shipping to overseas. However, there are very good established Boerboel families in the USA. Number 6, the animal grading system issue. The South African health grading system on animals is loosely regulated. This is due to a number of factors, including the country's large, diverse livestock population, the lack of resources available to the government to regulate the system, and the fact that many farmers are reluctant to comply with the regulations they see as unnecessary or burdensome.
The task team investigated the ability of the country to diagnose animal diseases on time and the preparedness of the country in putting in place realistic and scientifically justifiable remedial biosecurity measures. It found that the country was failing at these tasks. The report identifies 6 core problems, as there being no clear chain of command, lack of transparency in the policy formulation of veterinary operational policies and procedures, lack of contingency planning, and no timeless communication of critical interventions.
As you are aware, we talk of veterinarians being a scarce skills, and the impact that is felt mainly in the rural areas where there is scarcely no private vet. And even the state now, we find that the high vacancy is high and the turnover of veterinarians trying to move into the urban area is high. So the rural livestock farmer is left without having access to very much needed veterinary care for the animals.
As a result of the loose regulations, there is a risk that animals are not healthy or fit for slaughter, may be sold to consumers. This can pose a health risk to consumers as well as to the animals themselves. In addition, the lack of regulation can lead to unfair competition between farmers, and those who do not comply with the regulations may be able to sell their products at a lower price. This can also be applied to some breeders from South Africa. You can't be sure the dog is in good health, hence the sketchy price. Well, that is, if there is an actual dog. Number 7, the puppy may be old enough to rehome. The thing is, you can't import a puppy from South Africa until he is 4 to 6 months, meaning he has missed the critical period for socialization, and any undesired behaviors may be impossible to correct. Once a pup is set in certain habits in their development, they then become behavior issues. Puppies are typically most adaptable and easy to rehome when they are between 8 to 12 weeks old. This is because they are still young enough to be easily socialized and trained, but they are old enough to be away from their mother and litter mates. Number 8, more expensive Boerboels. Their cost involved with shipping the dog from South Africa is nearly double the cost of the dog. Here, breeder scams are another common problem. And one of the most common ways that the scammers operate is by asking for more money after initial payment has been made. This is a classic part of the scam. The breeder claims that there is additional fees that need to be paid, such as shipping or registration fees, things like that.
Krista Schaefer fell in love with this puppy named Oreo she also found online. So the high school biology teacher shelled out $500 to buy the little guy. Once again, there was an unexpected fee, $750 for a special crate the breeder said was necessary due to coronavirus.
I'm not sending you money. I don't have $750 more to give you.
When the breeder stopped answering her calls, she knew she'd been taken.
I couldn't believe that this was even possible. I didn't know that you can make a fake website and sell fake dogs to steal people's money.
As a potential buyer, you must be wise. Do your research. Be wary of the low prices. Ask for references. Meet the puppy in person, and if possible, pay with a credit card. If If you pay for your puppy with a credit card, you will have more protection if you are scammed. This is because you can dispute the charge with the credit card company.
I think if I had used a credit card, that probably would have helped me at least get my funds back.
If you think you have been scammed, you can report the scam to the police and the Kennel Union of South Africa. You can file a complaint with the credit card company you used to pay for the puppy.
What's up, Boerboels? It's your Boerboel friend, Jordan Pittman. If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe. It'll mean a lot to me and my Boerboel family.
Puppy julep, puppy julep, puppy julep.